Hey Leo, it's Ryan Mock with The Psychic Lawyer. Welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time since I've done tarot and astrology together, but I'm getting back into it, and we're coming up to the eclipse season, so now is a good time to provide some guidance and advice. And so this reading is going to be about the lunar eclipse on March 25th. I'm doing this video on March 15th. We're still in Pisces season, coming up to the spring equinox where the light takes over. We're exiting the dark half of the year, so it's about spring, resurrection, clearing out the old so new growth can come in. So those are just basic themes of spring and completing the sun completing a cycle essentially around the zodiac. So this particular lunar eclipse will happen with the south node in Libra. So for you, Leo, that is 3 signs. Libra is 3 signs past Leo. So the third house is implicated here, and so is the ninth, because 2 weeks after the lunar eclipse, we'll have a solar eclipse in Aries, which is your ninth house. Aries is 9 signs past Leo. So 3 and 9, let's talk about what that axis means, and then we'll pull some tarot. The third house has to deal with your siblings, your competitors, your local community, travel, and speech. So those are all themes by which could come up here. Something is coming to an end because the moon will be eclipsed by the south node, and the south node takes things down. It's not an increase, it is a decrease of something. Now, what is moon for you? Moon is your 12th house. It's Cancer. Moon rules Cancer. The 12th house is confinement, isolation, studying sometimes. It's your hidden enemies. It's things unseen, right? So this eclipse isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's taking out maybe some competitors, some unseen factors that are hindering you. Or maybe you're looking at how you self-sabotage yourself. Moon is self-protective, has a lot to do with family, home, and mother, so keep that in mind too. Sun and moon are eclipsed, so something with you and relationships, because moon is your natural pairing, so to speak. You are the luminaries after all. Something's coming to an end. So Libra has to deal with partnerships, the marketplace, overall. We often talk about Libra being a sign of balance. It's the scales, right? Oftentimes what we see with Libra is something is imbalanced. So we have to balance something out. Something needs to come to an end. Something needs to be released. That's what the South Node K2 is all about. Release, moksha, liberation. We got to release something so something new can be brought in. That's what eclipse season is all about. Now, the ruler of this eclipse, Libra, Venus, who rules Libra, by the way, is going to be in Pisces, and her sign of exaltation. And oftentimes I hear Western astrologers talk about exaltation as being some great thing, high on life. Venus in Pisces is very compassionate, empathetic, soft, but Pisces is also a dark sign. It's the 12th sign. It's something coming to an end. And if we want to think about what Pisces really is, we often talk about water, the depth of water. It's also an ethereal sign. So it's everything outside of our atmosphere. It's the whole universe outside of Earth, essentially. So it's very dark, and it's limitless, and it's formless. So something is being taken out of form, essentially. We have to understand the axis of Virgo and Pisces to understand what's happening with Venus here, right? So if Virgo is the most earthly of signs, right? Pets, sometimes plant life, things, objects. The opposite then is obviously formlessness. So it's something that dissipates, something that's going to be dissolved. So we have to dissolve something here. And remember what Pisces is. It's the fishes going in opposite directions. So it's also a recycling. So we have a lot happening with religious holidays. Pisces is often associated with organized religion. So we hear a lot about Easter, Ramadan. It's the death and rebirth process, right? Resurrection. So we're clearing things out so something can be reborn. So we can have new growth come into our life. And it just happens to be in that third house, local community, brothers and sisters, your competitors, marketing and selling. And then that ninth house where the solar eclipse will happen on April 8th is the darkening of the light. So we go through the lunar eclipse first, which is essentially this full moon on steroids. It's an ending, a completion of the cycle. And then 2 weeks after that, we have the solar eclipse in Aries, which is your 9th house of higher learning, experience, ideology. It's also in Aries, so it can be argumentative, doing something first, individualistic. It's a tension between you and your relationships, out in the marketplace maybe, but it also has to do with learning and experience. So that third and ninth axis can be pretty difficult. You have to go through it. It's the universe saying, did you learn your lesson through experience? Are you identifying those things through experience which you know are not good for you, that you shouldn't be a part of anymore? It could be about how you self-sabotage, because that 12th house is being activated because it's moon, right? That's Cancer, and that 12th house is where we self-sabotage ourselves. So you got to start thinking about your relationships. How are you dealing with your communication? There could be long distance travel associated with this as well. So think about travel, think about how you're communicating, and think about what needs to go. All right. It's probably obvious at this point because we're coming up to the quarter moon. So we only have about 10 days until the lunar eclipse in Libra. So, think about moon as consciousness. It's growing in consciousness. So as we grow closer to March 25th, the time of the solar eclipse, our consciousness is being enlightened about what needs to go. Because the moon will be with the south node. It's something that needs to be released. It will give you moksha and liberation, okay? Not necessarily a bad one for you because moon is being eclipsed and moon rules that 12th house of hidden things, so maybe this one works out better for you. And remember, it's about learning and experience. Not easy. There's some difficulty with that. The ruler will be in, the ruler of this lunar eclipse, Venus, will be in your 8th house of Pisces. The 8th house has to do, Pisces is 8 signs past Leo. The 8th house has to deal with what's mine and what's yours, joint ventures, joint resources, taxes, something that needs to be transformed. The 8th house can also deal with major health issues. So Pisces can be associated with drugs, alcohol, sex. So look to that as well. Maybe there's something that needs to be looked at very closely here. 8th house also has to deal with joint ventures, like I said, sometimes when you mortgages, right? Because sometimes it's two people taking out a mortgage. Finances can be implicated here. Partners' money, okay? What's mine and what's yours? 8th house can be difficult. Something needs to be transformed there, at least recycled. Keep those themes in mind through learning and experience. Look to health. All right, let's see what's going on with you, my Leos. Leo the Lion. By the way, I'm doing this video on the 15th. Your ruler sun is conjoined with Neptune in Pisces right now. It can feel very spiritual. It can feel like you're getting messages from the universe. You could feel very confused at this time, and allow a few days for Sun to get past Neptune. Neptune, the first word I think of when I think of Neptune is dissolve, okay? Neptune will dissolve everything because in modern astrology, Neptune rules Pisces. It's the end. Dissolves everything. So you got to dissolve something here, and there could be implications with water as well. And remember, water is also associated with alcohol. So I don't know why that keeps coming to mind, but I'm telling people that anyway. All right, I'm going to pull 4 cards from the Tarot, Leo, and then 1 card from the Angels Oracle. Let's see what's going on, my Lions. First card out, 6 of Swords. Remember I just said release, letting things go? This is that card, 6 of Swords, first card out. 10 of Wands, the burden, that 6th house that I was talking about. That's where Venus will be, the ruler of this particular eclipse. Sorry, it's the 8th house. Okay, forget what I just said. It's the 10 of Wands. It's the end of the cycle, right? It's oftentimes associated with that Pisces, the last house. We're ending things, okay? Another wand card, more fire. 3 of Wands, looking out. to what it is we've built? Are the ships coming in? Or is it what we're hoping for? Queen of Swords. Okay, so that's the last card. So we have a lot of swords and a lot of fire energy. Fire wands, I always say this has to deal with sight, has to deal with seeing something, and then swords are always about our thoughts and where the mind is going. Okay, so one court card. We'll talk about her. Female, male, doesn't really matter. But this reading overall, when I look at it, is very much about the burden being almost too much, right? It's the end. So the Ten of Wands is very much about the man holding all of the sticks at the end of the cycle. It's the 10. Headed back home after a very long journey, okay? And the burden of whatever it is you're carrying can get really heavy at the very end, right? And you're looking out to see, okay, what comes next? It's gathering those resources and seeing out into the future what it is that is going to be fulfilling coming up for you. Because fire energy, wands, has a lot to do with your passions, right? And it has to deal with that third house of local communication, local communities, what's going around you. You need to see something that's going on around you. Maybe it has to deal, this to me, because this is the first card out, Six of Swords, is very much a card of moving away from choppy water, right? So here's the woman, the man, and the child, and they're leaving choppy waters for calmer shores. Something has to be let go. If it's a lot of fighting, if it's an imbalance of some sort, because Libra's implicated here. I always say Libra's balance the scales, right? But something needs to be balanced in Libra. So you got to let something go here. And it could have to deal with your words, okay? Because that third house has to do with speech. And the Queen of Swords is cutting. I call her the Miranda Priestley card. If you've seen The Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep plays kind of like the boss from hell. And she's quick-witted, very sharp, doesn't mince words, and says it like it is. It is the truth. So it's kind of like having enough. I hear someone saying, I've had enough. This is the truth. This is the way it's going to be. I can't continue to do this. The burden is too much. We have to move toward calmer waters, whatever that might be. Maybe the home situation or whatever's happening in your local community, locally, things around you. It's just too much. And you're like, I got to take a break from this. And watch speech. So maybe something just needs to cut out. Maybe the way we communicate with each other has to change. Because it's choppy waters, right? It's a burden of some type. Let's see what's underneath the deck. More Wands energy, twos. It's a decision. Which way are you going to go? Again, it's about seeing. It's about sight. And again, we have, the 2 and the 3 here. It's looking out. It's looking to the past and to the future. And determining what's right for you in this situation. You have the world in your hands. You have your resources together. But what fits? What ignites that fire in the lion? You might need to assess that. Let's take a look at the angels. Let's see what it has for you. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, there you go. Pay attention to the red flags. What I talk about seeing. Wands are about seeing. Are you giving excuses to someone when you know the excuses are running out? There are no more excuses. Are you being truthful with yourself? If something needs to change with you, are you being truthful with yourself? It's about seeing. It could be that this queen over here is going to help you do that. Maybe you're on the receiving end of this a little bit, and someone needs to tell the lion the truth here, right? Your ruler, the sun, is with Neptune. Clouds, haziness, sometimes deceit is involved in this too. So Leo, it's about following your dharma, which is doing the right thing. That's what sun is all about, doing the right thing. So pay attention to the red flags. Something here is amiss, and this lunar eclipse will probably bring it to the light, and then it's time to start anew when that solar eclipse rolls around on April 8th. But it's going to take a while for it to unfold. So give yourself some time. Continue to move forward steadily and patiently, just like you do every day. The sun moves 1 degree every day. Never waxes and wanes, never retrogrades. That's you. You're always moving forward. So use your sight, your great sight. That's what being a fire sign is all about. I hope you like this reading. Please give it a thumbs up, a like, a comment. It always helps the channel. And take care, Leo. This lunar eclipse is going to be a little bit of a doozy, but remember, you are the lion. Take care.